They just brought in Carlos Hyde to the Seattle backfield.
I think with how the Seattle offense up to this point has functioned over the last 4 or 5 years, and even a little bit longer, you have to talk about Carlos Hyde at least a little bit. He may not be a guy that's super high on anyone's radar that you're drafting, maybe even in the top 10 rounds. But after round 10, we get closer to the start of the season, and you know that Rashard Penny is getting put on the PUP list. And you have Chris Carson. Carlos Hyde's a pretty damn good handcuff. He is a established running back in the league. It is a team that loves to run the football. And Pete Carroll has shown that there are times where he gives Carson the benefit of the doubt if he has a couple fumbles. But there are other times where Pete Carroll gets pissed off at him and says, okay, you're done. Before Penny got hurt, that backfield was pretty close to 50-50. Penny's injury kind of screwed up what they wanted to do in Seattle. Carlos Hyde does not have the same skill set that Rashard Penny does. He's not the blazer, and he's not as good out of the backfield receiving as Penny is, but he is a guy to keep an eye on, and he's probably one of the better handcuffs out there just because he is established. Like, you know what you're going to get with Carlos Hyde.
So with Carlos Hyde, again, this is, I think I've said this with a couple teams before, but if you're, depending on when your draft is, and you're looking at a Seattle running back situation, you're going to really want to pay attention to the reports coming out of Seattle when they finally do get on the field for training camp and figure out what kind of the thought process is amongst these coaches. If you're not going to use Carlos Hyde as a handcuff, like you said, Kevin, that is such a high risk, potentially high reward. But I think more often than not, it's going to be a high risk, no reward play on a weekly basis. But you really have to pay attention to what's going on there when they finally get into camp